Do I open with the something?
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, but do I open with the same thing every time? Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. I think that's what.
I think it makes sense. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. Thank you very much for joining. We are talking about Outlaw King, the Netflix movie about Robert the Bruce, starring Chris Pine. Basically a sequel to Braveheart. Pretty much a sequel to Braveheart. You all saw it. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into
it. You need to add our theme song to your
soundboard.
Your jukebox.
I do. It's your job to remind me to do that before next week. 2 weeks.
Dave is getting all kinds of jobs. You're now the Six Pack secretary.
Yeah, you're my remind me guy.
I don't like this.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining and clicking play on Six Pack Cinema. Podcast review on Outlaw King. Either you just saw Outlaw King and you want to hear more people talk about it, or you're a recurring listener, and we thank you, both of you, either one, no matter which you are. Maybe you hit play and then you're not listening. That's weird, but I also thank you for that, because, numbers are numbers. So we got Outlaw King here. The way this podcast works, we're going to do our gut reaction and our kind of just like overview of it. Then we're going to go into we're going to break it down, what we liked, what we didn't like throughout the movie, and then we're going to rate it. We got popcorns, which is entertainment and enjoyment, and we have our critical, which is more critical. Hey. Well, here we go. We have me. My name is Jomboy, Jimmy, whatever. We got John and Dave.
Whatever.
Well, I don't use Jomboy on here, and because you're John, so it'd be confusing.
Well, I tried to call you Jomboy for a while, and you both kept responding to it because it sounded like John.
Yeah, and I go by Sheehan everywhere else. So.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, now if you're new, you've met us all.
There we go.
You want to go first? Gut reaction,
Yeah, I thought it was very okay. It wasn't as good as I was expecting, and it had some pacing issues, but overall, I liked it. I thought all the actors were great in it. And I just feel like it could have been better as a miniseries than trying to fit it all into a 2-hour movie.
I like that point. I do. I think everything's better as a miniseries, though, because that's just kind of how my brain works now. What do you got?
You made a lot of fair points there. I would disagree strongly. I don't think everyone was a good actor there. There was a lot of shit performances in this one. And it was overall meh. Just meh. I could have just walked away midway through and not given a shit.
Okay, so we have Dave it's okay, but not great. John, you're meh, which is one notch below okay, I think.
I think so.
I'm on par with Dave. I liked it, but I love, like, this is my alley. You know what I mean? So, like, I know that the chances that I like this movie are going to be higher than my girlfriend or anyone else, I guess, because I love history and I love, like, these kinds of movies. Like, it's kind of like an epic, like a slow epic. Like, I like these kinds of movies, but it just didn't have, like, an it factor to me. It just kind of all happened.
Yeah, this is where it would benefit from being a miniseries, because the drama really took place at the beginning when the families of Scotland were like, oh, we give up, we're in England. Oh wait, no, we're not. They killed the guy. Now I killed you. And there was a lot of shit going on there. And unless you were very knowledgeable with Scottish history, it goes over your head. The drama of him, the drama of Chris Pine killing the other guy, that could have been a lot higher if this was miniseries.
I agree with that, but I thought the first act was the weakest part, just because they were like blowing over it all to get to the actual rebellion.
That's literally what I just said.
Well, you just said it was like the best part with all the drama.
No, I said it could have been the best part, but it was so rapid fire. It should have been a miniseries in that sense.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
I didn't even have it in my brain, like thinking how this would have worked as a miniseries. And you guys are so correct. It would be a fantastic miniseries.
Look at us, Dave. Look at us.
You do this as like 6 episodes, like hour-long episodes. That's 6 hours to tell the story, and you can really let it breathe and like get to know these characters better.
Yeah, man. I saw some people saying like it was just like too muddy in a literal sense, and then in like the movie too, like it was just kind of bland. I liked it. I watched scenes again. That's what I like about Netflix, because I just went back and like the opening one shot is amazing.
Yes, I agree with that. That whole first like 5 minutes is all one shot.
9 minutes.
It's 9? I didn't realize it was that long. That's incredible.
One shot.
I'm trying to remember the.
So from the surrenders in the beginning,
the sword fight,
all the way through the sword, the sword fight, and then back through the tent.
That's a long time.
To Douglas, and then back outside, and then back through the tent again to see them shoot the catapult to destroy the castle.
Yeah,
damn.
I watched it, and then I immediately made a Twitter video about it, like me talking about how crazy it was, and then I went back and finished the movie because I was so impressed with the one shot. Because
really,
yeah, one shot usually like Haunting of Hill House had a one shot that was 17 minutes long, but it was one room, and it's just all dialogue. It was more like a stage play. This was a tracking shot into a dark tent to the light outside, so you're dealing with different color for the camera. A sword fight with monologue and dialogue while they're doing the sword fight. Then back into the tent, into the dark. They do a new character. Then back outside and a catapult. It is crazy ambitious one shot, 9 minutes long, and they said it was 13 at first, but they cut down a couple. And Pine said he was pissed. He was like, "This is crazy." But it's a hell of a movie.
It's very unrelated to this, but now that I know you're such a fan of like when they can do one shots, you should. I don't know if you watch Mr. Robot, but in season 3, episode 5, almost the entire episode is one long shot.
Really?
And there's like a riot in the building, and like it follows multiple characters across multiple floors. It's cool. I think if you don't watch the show, it's worth checking out.
Yeah, True Detective did one. I never seen the Birdcage one.
No, Birdman.
Shots.
Birdman.
No.
That whole movie was basically one, but not really. It was made this. It was. There's only one cutaway the whole movie.
Is there?
Yeah.
They had to mask things.
Oh, it was entirely masked. Trust me, I know that. But it was meant to be like look like just one continuous camera shot.
Yeah. So they opened up with the one here, which I thought was super impressive, and it kind of told the story. But I had to I went back and watched it twice because I made a video, and then I really knew the story because I don't think it was actually effective. Like getting all those characters in. They wanted it to be effective. Like the director said, we had to explain so much really quickly. So we thought the one shot, we could bring all the characters in one place and everything. But it's like you're both saying, it could have been so much better if all that kind of got spread out and had a whole episode of intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the gore? I thought it was too gory.
I thought it was very realistic on that side. Like some of it was like I don't want to watch this. Like it was making me cringe, but I liked it because it fit the tone of the movie.
I'm usually okay with gore. I broke our code and I started texting about it midway through because I was frazzled by the uncle who got strung up and hung and then gutted in front of his niece.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's so shitty. They're gonna hang him in front of him. Oh God, they're ripping his stomach open.
God, you see everything.
And it was so fucking horrible. It was traumatic.
Okay, that's what you were texting about? I wasn't sure because I immediately was like, stop talking. I haven't seen it yet. But I thought you were, because you were just complaining, it sounded like, not like, oh my God, it's horrible and I can't watch this. But I thought you were just saying it's badly written.
I
thought you were talking about that joke in the beginning that just felt so out of place where the chambermaids were like, oh, that was quick sex.
What the fuck? That's so weird. I was like, wait, what?
There was like two or three scenes in the movie where it was like random jokes that didn't fit with the rest of it. And I don't know if the movie was originally supposed to be like very comedic and they cut most of it out or what.
The best joke in the whole movie is all the stupid haircuts. Is that like their way of just like making sure that people recognize it as like not modern? Oh, maybe. Because those haircuts were so stupid. There's no way people had haircuts that stupid.
I think they did.
I don't think those are historically accurate. I just think it's like, all right, what will make people think this is what they looked like back then?
I think people were really bad at painting portraits back then, so everyone assumed they had shitty haircuts like that.
Why did no one have buzz cuts? You never
because you have to do it very often then.
Yeah, and like they didn't have clippers back then. They actually had like swords and
you grew your hair out.
See like just a real nice short haircut. In the olden days, it's always fucking weird. I mean, Chris Pine's haircut looks so stupid.
It was a mess. Ugh. I thought he was pudgy and fat too, but no, it was just the way his clothes were going.
Do you guys have a favorite scene or a least favorite scene, like a memorable part of the movie?
I do. And
I thought. Oh, sorry. I'll let you go first.
Yeah. There's one scene that really stood out as being like wicked out of place, and far be it for me to complain about a sex scene, but this one was so like intense out of nowhere for me. Chris Pine and his wife.
I thought they built up to that well because they spent like
I don't know, man.
3/4 of the movie building up, or not 3/4, but like half the movie building up to them finally like realizing they cared about each other and fucking.
Yeah, but it was almost porn, and like it was just to me it felt like completely out of place.
You didn't like them tickling each other with a little rosemary leaf or whatever it was?
Yeah, I did not like that. Didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Well, it was a long scene too, very long for a sex scene.
It's an epic.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe compared to your sex scenes.
Callback joke. Shut up. Whatever.
A scene I really did like all the battles, actually. I was going to say the one at the end, but also when they invaded the camp in the middle of the night. I thought all of those were done really well.
Yes.
The invasion was cool. The next invasion, when the guy who pledged his loyalty to him, and then he invaded his own castle on his own.
Oh,
Douglas.
We were supposed to think like, oh, is he gonna turn?
Because I think it was supposed to be like up in the air if you don't know actual history.
Yeah, because that's where I was like, ooh, are they gonna? Is he actually gonna like meet with them and conspire or do something? But he didn't. He just killed everyone in church.
I thought he was pretty
alone. I didn't really get that part, but it was cool.
I thought he was pretty bare bones. Like he was probably the most honest guy in the whole movie. I felt like,
which I thought
in no way did I think he was going to betray anybody.
I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's the actor who portrayed him, did a great job too, because the Mad Douglas is a well-known historical figure for being an absolute psychopath and just like covered in blood, screaming Douglas. Throughout the movie. I was like, all right, he's nailing it.
At the end when he's like, say my name, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
My favorite scene, or like the scene that I keep, my memory just keeps jumping to, you know, sometimes you watch a movie and then you just jump to random scenes, is the water scene when they're rowing across. He sees the other guy's army come, like fuck him up in the water. Because that was like they were already down so many men. They were up like 40 men. It was kind of crazy.
And it was also a crazy thing, like, all right, everyone just get in a boat, we'll be okay.
That's what I didn't really understand.
They can't swim? Like, what's going on?
Well, they're in armor. That would like weigh you down. And
true. That's a good point.
Sort of getting away fast. They're kind of just slow.
It was more. It wasn't even. It was more like a. It reminded me of like a football team brawl. Like everyone just kind of slowly gets out there, and nothing ever really gets settled, and just kind of wander apart. It was weird.
Yeah. The other thing that stands out in my mind is his wife getting put in that bird cage on the side. Like that would be so cold.
Apparently, there was more scenes with her in that cage with like kids throwing rocks at her and her dumping her like bucket of waste on kids that were cut.
I can see why they'd be cut for sure. Yeah.
I think like that fits in like the funnier version of this movie. Her just dumping waste on these kids.
That actress has to be like, so I spent 2 days in that bird cage.
For like one scene.
You cut it off. That was pretty, like, troubling. I was like, man, that sucked to be just fucking dangling on the side of a cliff in a bird cage. I thought they were going to dip her in the water.
Me too.
That would be far worse for me. I'd rather dangle for years than be put in the water like that. You know, that's I mean, obviously that's a very real thing, but did you know that was there was 3 skeletons hanging in bird cages in I want to say France up until about 10 years ago. Just skeletons chilling in the top of a church.
What are you talking about? In bird cages?
Yeah, they put the girl in the bird cage, like you pointed out.
Do you like mean to say 40 years ago? You mean in 2008 there was skeletons?
They finally removed the skeletons.
Skeletons, bird cages, France.
There's no way that's accurate. It's going to be like in the 80s they removed them.
Yeah, nothing comes up. Just like if you want to buy a skeleton in a bird cage. You're going to have to let me know. But that was a pretty crazy scene.
Yes. How did you guys feel about all of his brothers, though? Because I didn't really care about any of them.
I guess
Didn't care.
I don't care.
Because there's like 5 of them, and I know like 2 died, I think, maybe 3. That was another thing. I felt like they should have either combined them all into one, which I understand wouldn't be historically accurate, but then you get more scenes with just one character. Or if you have the miniseries, then you can like get to know these guys. But the fact that there was like 5 of them and then they just kept dying, I was like, well, I don't care if they die.
I know that this isn't an actual sequel to Braveheart, but part of your brain had to be like, they fucking fell for the horse spike thing again? He fell for that 3 battles ago.
Yeah. Although I think in real life that didn't happen until this battle.
Well, either way, don't fall for that twice.
Were either of you guys expecting Mel Gibson to make a cameo? Because I was kind of hoping for it.
I was not. He didn't, right?
No, he didn't.
The horse spot, that battle scene, I did like that battle scene. I don't know if reviews are saying it because I think it was like kind of realistic in like an underwhelming sense. Like it was more just
chaos,
and they wanted them to go in the bog and the spikes. They had everything going. But yeah, I thought it was cool. What did you think? I didn't like that he let him live at the end.
No, I know in real life, like the prince got away, but it couldn't have been like that where they're all surrounding him and he just lets them go. Because you're at war with England, you might want to capture the prince/king.
Well, I heard
hold him hostage.
In real life, the prince wasn't even at that battle.
Oh, what I had read is he was, and he got separated from his forces and like just found them like days later.
Interesting. John, do you have a favorite scene or scene that sticks out? Did you say
what? Yeah, I agree with you. That final scene. It's tough for me watching some of those scenes because I always have a hard time following what's going on. Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones does it pretty well, but I mean, there's a lot of fast cuts and quick things, and especially whenever there's money, you don't really can't tell who's who. This one, I thought they did a good job of making sure that you knew what was going on. Granted, they were all yelling their own names, but
yeah, I was about to say there's like 3 characters we know at that point, and one is the redhead, one's Chris Pine, and the other is screaming Douglas every 2 seconds.
So yeah, simple kudos to that though.
Douglas.
What's my name?
Anything else? Anything else we got to talk about? I mean, the Queen. Who do you think wasn't acting well?
I hate the prince.
Hated
him.
His haircut was bad.
No, his face was bad. It's just everything about him was bad.
I thought he acted well, but I hated his haircut. He just looked like a dork.
No, he was too intense. He was I don't know.
I don't know. That scene with the geese, I was like, all right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean
that geese has someone made that into a GIF yet?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it. No.
That scene, I think in GIF brain now, and I'm just like, that's funny.
Yeah,
screaming and holding up 2 geese by the neck.
Also, as much as I like hated him, I was like, fuck yeah, when his dad gave like this dying request, and he's like, of course. And then as soon as his dad dies, he's like, no, I don't give a fuck what he said. I'm king now. Yeah,
he told his dad, he was like, you never thought I could be as good as you. Well, I'm better than you.
Such a douchebag.
Yeah. And then he lost. And in real life, like Bruce gets Scotland's freedom for a long time, right?
Yeah. They gave that little blurb at the end. Like 8 years later, they ended up getting their freedom. And then the current monarchy is descended from his line.
Yes.
They marry into it.
When they took over both, and like Scotland got fucked again.
Yeah.
But
then that's what was the reason for the Brexit.
Yeah. Well, that's right. All right. Do we have anything else? Do we go into ratings?
I think we go into ratings, right?
I think we go. Yeah.
All right. We're going to do popcorn first, which is out of 5 stars. rewatchability, entertainment as you watch. John, you said you had your popcorn locked up. So what are you going?
3.5. 3.5. It's just slightly above average for exciting stuff. I don't know. Three means it was like I liked watching it, and I'll never watch it again. I'll watch scenes. So 3.5.
You're going to watch the first scene again because you didn't even realize it was a one shot.
Yeah, I'm really bad at this like observation stuff.
Did you get anyone's race wrong in this?
I mean, half of them are muddy, so probably.
Oh my God, I don't know if you can say that.
That's fucked up. I didn't even think of that.
I'm going 4. But my bias is included. Like I love historical dramas and epics of this sort.
Yeah, I also went 4. But for the same reason, I acknowledge I'm also kind of biased to like this. I really like medieval and historical films, so it was right up my alley.
All right, so 4s have it.
The 4s have it. Now we go into our critical rating, which out of 100. I'm going to throw my number out there to you guys, okay?
Wait. I thought you wanted to make Sheehan do it to lock his in.
I won't do that. I do that to him last time, too.
All right.
My number is 83. And I don't know why it is that. Because I think it's really well made. Cinematography is awesome. I think the acting's awesome. Like you said, the miniseries idea is good. And I think the miniseries idea means you just want more of it. But I don't know. I don't really know how to back it up.
I think the miniseries idea says that they rushed it, or they didn't, like Dave said, didn't breathe. So I'm actually marking points off of that because it would have been better as a miniseries. And of course, it was made by Netflix. Well, it has all the resources in the world to make it a miniseries.
Yeah, well, it's on Netflix, not on the movie.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. Got me there.
I went at 83. I don't know why, but that's what I was thinking of. I think it's a well-made movie. I think it's a real good sequel to Braveheart. Like if you watch Braveheart and enjoyed it, you're going to watch this because you already got the whole story. Basically, you're ready for it.
Yeah, I do want to, like, maybe over Christmas when I have some days off, do a back-to-back watch of them. See if it works that way.
Still haven't seen it.
That's wild to me.
Oh, so that's why you probably do, like, nothing, dude.
It's probably a big portion of why I was so ignorant on it. Okay.
Like, when they strung up William Wallace, that's Mel Gibson.
I knew that.
That was his arm.
I knew that.
That was his cameo.
Well, that's what I expected. Like, I was like, maybe he'll appear as William Wallace, like early in the movie again.
When they did that, I stopped it and I did a little Googling as to figure out like how he actually died, like the whole process, and it's a gruesome way to go.
Didn't they just like tear him apart?
Yeah, no. That was the final part. They hung him, and then they ripped his guts out, put it back in, took him off, and then stretched them all 5 ways to tear him in pieces.
Yeah, that's hung and quartered.
Yeah.
That's also what they did to the uncle. You just don't see the second half of it.
Yeah.
No, they said that he was still alive when they pulled him apart. Is that normal?
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then they threw his head into tar for good measure.
Braveheart's a little cheesier, a little less realistic, but a better movie, I think.
I'll agree with that. But getting back to our scores, I gave it a 73. I agree with a lot of what you said, though. I love the subject matter. I thought everyone, for the most part, did a great job. I thought the cinematography was great. It's just really the pacing that, especially the first act, that I'm taking points away from. And then those few scenes here and there that just felt like they were straight out of a comedy. And then
they just cracked that joke. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't match the tone of this at all.
Yeah. But also some of the dialogue felt like it was more modern dialogue and not medieval to me. I couldn't like shake the feeling that it's just not how people talked back then. I have no like examples to back that up. It just felt weird to me. So I'm taking points off for that.
It's a gut feeling. Okay. All right. You said 73?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go 75 just as an average. 75 C. Bam. Right. Call it a
day. Any particular reasons besides what we've said?
I told you I'm all about meh on this one. I don't want to repeat everything you guys just said, but 75. Go with that. Sorry.
All right, fair. What would you guys have with it if you're going to watch it again?
You got to have a goblet of wine. Red wine.
Shane? You're not Shane, Jimmy. Really? You guys are going wine? It's a Scottish movie. You got to have scotch.
Well, a perfect goblet of red wine. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm going to edit this so I went first.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay. Our last two segments here. What do you think it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, I like this segment. I forgot about it.
It's like a surprise to you every time we do it.
I'm going to go 70.
Oh.
Did you freeze?
Oh, my brain.
Oh.
Oh.
I definitely thought you froze. I was like, fuck, my computer froze as he's saying this.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right. So I'm going to go that the people said 78 and the critics said 70.
Okay. Shane, what about you?
I have no confidence in that.
I'm going to go the I don't know critics higher, but critics probably going to be like 82. And the people score, I think the people are going to be just like me. Call it 60.
No way. I don't think it's going to be that low.
All right. Which do you guys want first?
Critic.
Critics gave it a 57.
Ooh.
And audiences gave it a 73. So, same as me.
All right.
What's up the critics' butt?
I have no idea.
I
didn't read any of them. I just looked at like the score.
Us critics were like, meh.
I think critics look down on Netflix movies. Like I still don't.
I definitely agree with that.
I think there's a prejudice to Netflix and Amazon movies,
especially ones that want to be like this is trying to be an epic.
Yeah,
they loved it when it's things like To All the Boys Have Ever Loved because they're like, oh, that's a harmless Netflix movie.
Yeah, if this came out in theaters, I think critics would have it higher. I think they're getting punished for coming out on Netflix.
I could see that.
I really do think the crampedness of the first half hour really affected it, though.
Maybe a lot of people could have not liked that first half hour and just had like already made up their minds and checked out for the second.
Probably exactly what happened.
I think there's not any humor, like the humor that they did try to put in there felt so out of place. But like in Braveheart, Mel Gibson kind of just has like a witty way about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and that gives it that it factor where you're like, oh, I really like this guy. I want to root for him. Like I never really liked Chris Pine in this.
Yeah. Although I do like that they called him out, that his character ran away at the end of Braveheart in this movie.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. He's not there for that final battle because he's like, there's no way we're going to win, and runs away like a coward. And then he gets called a coward in this movie. And he's like, well, we weren't going to win that fight anyways.
Yeah, that's what coward was. Coward.
So, final question for you guys. I have my answer, but who would Ben Affleck play in this movie?
I think you do.
The guy he killed on the front steps of the chapel.
Yes, thank you. That's who I wrote down.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going with Prince of Wales.
No.
Yes. Have you seen Dogma? Identical character.
But he's too big.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll have him go on a diet.
No, I think he plays that like distant.
Fun. All right, yeah. You guys, hey, 2-1. Go ahead.
Like, yeah.
Far be it from me, to argue with you guys here. You gotta get a better handle on this than I do, apparently.
I don't know. You are the Ben Affleck expert, though.
Yeah, but I mean, clearly this movie went like over me.
You needed to watch Braveheart. Everyone else.
I do.
I think that's what it is, because if you watch Braveheart, you're like, ooh, yeah, more of this story. So you kind of like it already. Whereas if you don't, you're like, what the fuck's this? I don't care.
I gave it a good shot. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it didn't excite me either.
No, I definitely thought you were going to hate it, judging from those couple of texts you sent.
What's our final score? What was it? It was 83 plus 73 plus 75. Five. That just means 75?
I think so. Or 76, maybe.
53. That's wrong, John.
That's not right.
Bad math. Bad math.
Here we go. 77.
77.
That
feels right for this movie. Yeah.
77 and 4 popcorn.
All right.
Great.
Cool. That's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Go on Instagram, Six Pack Cinema. Go on Twitter, Six Pack Cinema. Let us know what you gave it, what you think, and all of that nonsense. And subscribe and rate and review. And thanks very much. Dave will tell you he loves you now.
Love y'all.
There you go.
Bye.